How to get clarity in business. Most coaches and consultants definitely overcomplicate this. They think that it means having the perfect business plan or the polished vision statement, or that they need to have years of experience before things start to make sense. But what if clarity isn't something that you need to wait for? What if it's not nearly as complicated as you've been told? In this episode, I'm going to show you a simple way to get clear on what problem you solve. You'll also know who you'll serve and what content will actually attract your dream clients. Let's dive right in. So let's talk about that first myth, that clarity means having the perfect vision statement or business plan. It really just depends on what is in your business plan to say whether that is accurate or not. What you need clarity on is who do you help, how do you attract them, how do you turn them into customers, and what problem do you solve? So that's the clarity that you need. If you know those things, then that will dictate your marketing, your sales, your fulfillment, how you build the company. So having a vision statement that uses grandiose words, or it looks like, or it's amazingly poetic or something like that, you can frame it and you can put it on a wall, but does that actually give you clarity on who you serve, how you do it? Myth number 2, clarity just comes with time and experience. I'll figure it out later. Well, that's a surefire way to stay self-employed. You're not going to be able to transition into a business owner. Maybe you've worked for another company and you've been in the role of doing the work and providing good service, and so you're stepping out on your own and you just want to keep doing that same work. Well, then great. But if you do want to transition into a business owner, if you ever want to free up your time, if you have any desire to grow or to scale, the first step is clarity. So because you're making it harder than it needs to be, let's take some action right now. I'll talk slowly for just a minute. No, go ahead and pause while you pull out a pen and paper. But whatever you do, just grab it real quick. I'm going to give you several things to write down. And at the end of this episode, you're going to go back and you're going to fill in the answers to these questions. This will get you clarity. Okay, so here's question number 1. What specific problem do you solve? That's it. I mean, you've just got to answer that question. If you can't answer that question, don't worry about any other questions until you can answer this one. So think about your experience, your expertise. What have you figured out? And have you helped anyone with that? If you've been providing coaching or consulting in any way, where have they gone? Like, where were they and where are they now? Like, what's the difference? If you were to ask them, okay, you've done coaching with this person, what's different now? Right? That's the problem that you solved. And maybe you've helped people with multiple problems. Well, which problem have you helped the most people solve? Or which one do you enjoy solving the most? Which problem do you feel purpose-driven to help people solve? Okay, question number 2. What questions are your dream customers asking online? Okay, with this question, you're not going to know exactly, but you can guess, right? You can do a brainstorm exercise to think, well, I think they're struggling with this, and with that. Now, what I can help you with at another time, or you can watch some of my other videos to learn how to find these exact questions. I call it keyword research, but it's more question research. We can dig and we can find the very, very specific questions that your clients are asking on Google, on YouTube, and on ChatGPT. And it's amazing when you can read a question and say, oh, I know exactly what they're feeling right now. Because you know exactly who they are, what they're struggling with, and you know the solution. Once you know the answer to the first 2 questions, the third question is this: what videos will you film? All right, so that seems kind of interesting, right? This is a video about clarity, but when you know the exact questions that people are typing, if you make a video answering those questions, it's going to position you as the authority. Now, I have created a whole other episode. I'll link to it right up here. It's called What is Authority Marketing? I go into a lot more depth about authority marketing so that when people find you, they see you as the authority and they trust you and they want to hire you. So I'll link to that right there. Okay, here's the 4th question. What free gift will help your dream clients? So what these videos are going to do is pull in your dream clients. So now you've got their attention, but we need to turn them from a viewer into a lead in your business. And so we need to give them a free gift. It could be a PDF download, it could be a mini course, it could be a book, it could be a webinar invitation, but it needs to make sense. Like, after they've watched this video, what can you give them that will help them implement that? Okay, and then question number 5 that I want you to write down: what service do your dream clients need? If you've answered the first 4 questions and you know this journey that they're going to go on and watch these videos, they're going to get a free gift, what service does that lead to? So if you know the problem that they have, so they watch this video, they get this free gift, what's the service that will best serve them? Right? You got to make sure that everything is lined up linearly. So when you can see this picture, hopefully you can see that by focusing on one problem at a time is the best way to have success in your business. That will give you clarity on what marketing you need to do, what your sales department needs to look like, or if it's just you, what your sales conversations look like, and your services, and know exactly how to fulfill, because you're going to help them solve a problem. Another way that you can get clarity is through video. Video is a great tool that forces you to get clear on your message. If you find a specific question that your audience is asking, you've got to outline the answer and then film and deliver that content to them. By the end of this 10-minute video, you want them to have an answer and to really feel like you gave them value. So it really forces you to get clear on your message. Can I pivot later if I choose the wrong focus? So the quick answer is yeah, you can always pivot if you want to change your focus, but chances are if you answer the questions in the order that I gave you and you focus on that audience, it's not going to be a matter of I don't think they're the right audience anymore, but you're going to start adding more and more audiences. So now that you know the importance of clarity, I want to go more in depth on that strategy that I talked about around video. Okay, it's called the LEAF strategy. I'll link to that video right there. You're going to learn the 5 ingredients that will get your videos ranking at the top of YouTube, Google, and ChatGPT. So this will position you as the ultimate authority. When people who've never heard of you before are searching for your help, right? They just don't know that you exist. You're going to be the one that appears in front of them. So I'll see you in the next video.